Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Sully this.
Cowboys.
This is
The gold team of the senior pros. Let the whole world hear our bugles blow. Stand up.
we can't be infected by bad.
Stampede.
The golden 60s. I don't think anybody's ever said that. The golden 60s. Does that mean
That's when this team,
Is that our
this
age?
franchise got good, was in the golden 60s, right?
Well, I'm getting good. I'm in my golden 60s.
And it was basically the 1966 season when the Cowboys made it all the way to the NFL championship game.
So this was that when the song was made?
It was around that era, I think.
Yes, never mind. Let's move on.
It sounds like it's from that era. Let's ask someone who maybe was an adult during that era. Mickey, was it this era for that song?
The golden 60s?
The golden 60s.
What a stylish hoodie that Mickey is sporting
like that?
today.
That's your Q&A stuff, man. What you gonna wear on Sunday?
Oh, I got others.
Ah, see, there you go. Look,
Is that available in the pro shop?
That's where I got it.
Okay. All right.
you paid,
I like
you
that.
Paid
for
good
that?
money for it. The worst part was is I saw somebody else with it on. And I said, "Oh, I want." one
And
of
all
those."
this time, I thought your clothing was provided by the Dallas Cowboys for
me
Mick
too,
Shots.
man. Me too. Hey, if you need a discount, man, just holler at me, bro.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of gear,
Yes.
we have not only football players on a football field on this fabulous fight song Football Friday, but they have pads on today.
Football
this is
pads.
a padded practice Friday.
And they're running out of them quickly.
They are. So you're going to tell us about Article 24 of the collective bargaining agreement and how many padded practices they can have?
I want to hear this.
It used to be 13 for the season, and you had to be done with them
By about now. This would be like the last one.
close. Yeah,
mean,
you couldn't-
seriously,
You
by-
couldn't save them up for the last.
Should we be reporting this, guys? I don't know.
No, it is.
No.
It's legit.
Okay.
It's above board. And in fact, I have the rule right now.
So now with 17 games, you may get 14 practices.
I learned in my 1 month of law school at University of Oklahoma, if you ask a question, you know the answer.
That's right.
Okay, the collective bargaining agreement, Article 24, you are allowed during the regular season, padded practices for all players shall be limited to a total of 14.
14. I had it.
11 of which must be held during the first 11 weeks of the regular season, and 3 of which must be held during the remaining 6 weeks of the regular season.
Oh, so you can spread out those last
So
3.
you've got 3, and since they obviously did not have any last week with the Thanksgiving, and it was a short week the week before, I mean, they may even have a couple in their hip pocket here.
Might have too many. Got to start spending them.
So it's just refreshing to see football players in pads out here
On
on
a
the practice
Friday.
field. On a Friday. Of course, it's a Monday night game. That's why it's happening on a Friday. Normally, this event is reserved for a Thursday during a normal week.
That's exactly right. So
How
this
many
is the-
padded practices a season did y'all have,
Come on,
Everson?
who counts? We lose count.
Every practice was
Every
padded?
practice. Well, and I told you guys one other time, the 49ers were ahead of the game, and that's when Bill Walsh was there and they were winning. They had maybe one full pad practice every week and maybe a shoulder pads with shorts.
I remember going out there. I remember going out there and covering the Cowboys-Niners NFC Championship game in January of 1993.
That's post Bill Walsh.
Post Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
But I remember, and I went out there early in the week, so covered all their practices and everything, and they were in shorts.
All the time.
all the time.
That's right. It was so
seemed
chill.
like standard operating procedure.
That's it.
It was such a different environment than what Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys were doing.
And Tom Landry as well.
And I can give you a great example of that for the 93 season Super Bowl when the Cowboys were playing Buffalo, and they were, 92 Super Bowl, excuse me, and the workouts were in L.A. Cowboys were at UCLA, and Buffalo was at USC.
Okay.
And I was the pool reporter for the AFC practice, so I got to watch the Bills practice.
Jerry got him behind enemy lines. He was the spy. Bill's practice.
That's how,
like a mustache.
That's how outstanding person I was that they trusted
the
me.
marks and
Right?
the whole thing with the glasses.
So they got towards the end of, it might have been the Thursday practice. And the Cowboys, I know what they were doing at UCLA. They had pads on every day, and they were busting heads,
yeah.
right? The Bills, they were out there in, I think maybe they had their helmets on and then jerseys and shorts. And it was getting close to the end of practice. And their star middle linebacker, was it Conklin? Does that sound right?
Yes.
He's out in
Doesn't,
practice.
but go with
It does. No, it does.
They're out in practice, and it's getting close to the end, right? And I saw him catch Marv Levy's eye, and he did, and for the people that are watching, I'll do it for you, but to explain it, in the middle of practice, he looked over there, and he did this with his wrist so he could see his watch, like, time's up.
Yeah.
We've been out here long enough.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, you guys got another thing coming when you get to the game if that's the way you're going to prepare for this one, because I knew what the Cowboys were doing.
And it was Shane Conlon.
Shane,
and not Conklin, but Conlon.
Conlon, thank you.
I think he's a Penn State guy.
I was close.
I believe he is, Bill.
It was only
Penn State.
No, you did good.
32
You did
years
good.
I was.
ago.
I backed you.
But I couldn't. I was shocked
Yeah.
because I knew what the Cowboys were doing. Right?
And we had we just beaten them?
No, this was the first time around.
Yep.
27 Super Bowl 27.
So, okay, so we had beaten them 2 years. When I say we, meaning Giants.
Oh,
yeah.
He put his Giants cap on.
Let's remember. I mean, come on. I have a little something to do with Buffalo.
So no, they would have lost to you
They won
guys.
one before that. They won
and then they got beat by Washington.
Washington, and then twice
And then
by the
twice by
Cowboys.
the
So this is the
consecutively.
first of two.
The other thing they were worried about was security. They wanted to shut down the student swimming pool the high dive, because they were worried there were spies up there.
So you think a spy's gonna come up there in a bikini with a camera? I don't know. With a pen and paper.
That was Bill Polian's big objective, to make sure no one was watching.
Up on the dive.
Up
On the diving board, yes.
Platform. Probably.
saw it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a platform. Yeah.
And then they noticed that the dormitory that was right next to the swimming pool, the rooms at the end had balconies. They wanted to shut down the balconies.
I could see that. But still, the students.
Like you're gonna
but the students are,
sneak into the dorm
you're gonna
and
have to
go up
bribe
there.
some students. Hey, don't say anything. We'll be out here on the balcony.
You know, and they did it before in Minnesota when they were practicing. They were at the University of Minnesota in their indoor facility because it was freezing cold that week. And
That winter.
In California.
in
Minnesota.
Minnesota,
well, of
Minneapolis,
course. Yeah.
and the coaches, the University of Minnesota coaches, were on a second floor at the end of the practice facility, and they had all the drapes drawn in their offices, and then one office had a light come on, and the drape was open. get up there, make sure who's in that room. And I'm going, God, I'll just worry about football.
You know, they had already lost 2.
That was the second one they lost.
And so they're still kind of lacking.
And then the next year, they were still worried about, and they were
That's what I
still
was
worried
trying to
about
get to.
security, yes.
It's not like, well, this is new to them that they're going to get their butts kicked in the Super Bowl, but they'd already lost to 2 teams, and here they are have the same attitude.
It's amazing. But anyway.
So we talked about the 92 Cowboys, touched on the 93 Cowboys, and how about now the 94 Cowboys? And how ahead of the time was Barry Switzer going for it on 4th and 1 at his own 29-yard line? Is Dan Campbell related to Barry Switzer somehow?
Well, they're both gunslingers. They're both gunslingers.
Well, it wasn't.
That was 30 years ago. It's an anniversary. It might actually be the actual anniversary of the Cowboys-Eagles game.
The analytic anniversary.
You know what? I think last night, so Bill's referring to, he feared his defense so bad that he was willing to gamble going for so they could run out the clock. They did not want Green Bay to have any seconds left to drive downfield and tie the game.
But how about going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 31
that's
earlier?
different between what happened at the end of the game.
And that was like the Switzer one, which from his own 29.
But he made 4 of 5.
That's right.
So.
Well, that one that he didn't make almost cost him.
Yeah, it did. Gave him a short field from, 30 yards out?
I think they had like the first 3 scores were short fields, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they had an interception return, that, and I forgot what the other one was. But it was a short field. You're right. And they gave him that one.
They gave it.
Gambling
I guess
Dan.
he must be feeling pretty good about himself. I don't think it was a matter of not trusting anyone. I think it's the other way around. He actually did trust his defense, I thought.
No, he didn't in the end because he didn't want them to have the ball to come back and tie the game up. He wanted to win it with his offense. And he did.
He did.
And actually, it was the 95 season, wasn't it?
What's that?
Because it's the year the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber?
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
What happened, Dumb and Dumber?
That was the headline.
That was the headline of the New York Post.
New York
the next
Post.
Day. The next day with picture of Barry and Jerry
Jimmy together. Jerry and
Jerry,
Switzer.
Dumb and Dumber, and the movie had just come out, I guess.
Oh, that's messed up.
But it was, okay, what's the date today?
December 6th.
December 6th. And that was December 10th, 1995. So that was 29 years ago.
It was cold. He wanted to go in.
and that's the other thing is the wind, and that's the reason why Switzer did it, was because he didn't think they could punt it very far in that Philadelphia wind. So 20-17 loss, and then the Cowboys turned it around and won the Super Bowl.
Isn't that something?
Load left.
So who's Dumb and Dumber?
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So there's our little trip down memory lane, and now Cincinnati on Monday night.
4-8 Bengals.
So we have a better
5-7 Cowboys.
That's right.
Don't take them lightly. I think Jerry has said it like at least twice this week, and he said it again today on his radio segment, that they're a lot better than their record seems.
I think that's pretty obvious. Once you watch the game, it's, they have their faults just like we do. But when you start thinking about the offensive talent that they have, it's pretty hard to go out there and they're productive. Pretty hard to go out there and just say, "Oh, these guys are going to be a piece of cake."
And
I'm hoping my DBs are out there stretching out real good because it's going to be a track meet.
Give Micah Parsons credit too for warning everybody. He basically kind of sang Joe Burrow's praises and said that if the record was reversed, he would be the leading candidate for MVP.
No doubt.
And he's right. If you look at his Burrow's numbers, all the stuff he leads the league with in passing, they score points. And again, I forgot to check the we talked about it yesterday. The line on the game, because the Bengals were 5.5-point favorites when the week started. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's changed any, but that's almost unheard of. Giving the home team 5.5 points
Crazy.
when the records are not even the same.
That's crazy.
So.
And we've had we played some tough teams and lost to some tough teams. So it's not like,
Right.
We've been, dancing through the whole schedule.
And beat Washington on the road.
On the road. Pittsburgh on the road. Come on. I mean,
A second-place team and a first place. Pittsburgh's still in first, right?
yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And they're trending up. So I don't know.
They look at the points that Cincinnati is putting on the board, and can the Cowboys match it?
I'm looking at our defense. Me, I'm Mr. Positive, Mr. Optimistic. There are times when your defense plays over its head. This needs to be one of those games where, we know what they have. We're already fearful of it.
Right.
We've already planned for that. Can we, go into the game that focused? Stay focused on the task at hand. Can we do that? As a defense, I'm not talking about offense. As a defense, can we meet the challenge? You're talking about a guy. First of all, you think he's going to get paid next year, Chase, the wide receiver?
Wow, I would imagine.
He was supposed to get paid this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, was he franchised this year?
I don't think so.
He's in his fourth year.
Fourth year.
Mm-hmm. He's fifth-year option picked up for next year.
Okay, so he's a year behind.
He's
CD?
21. Yep.
Okay. So that's the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I left my transcription of Micah's interview, but I liked the fact that he sat there and said, when they started talking about how good Cincinnati's offense was, that I need to be the best player on the field.
Yeah.
We need to be a better defense. As a matter of fact, play our best defensive game of the year to be able to deal with them.
I agree.
And that's being very realistic, right?
I agree.
You sit there and you worry, well, I don't know, they might underestimate them. They got a worse record. Better throw that record out.
So why is there such focus on how many points the Bengals are scoring? They're fifth in the league in scoring. They get the number one passing offense, and with this 5.5-point spread, do we just dismiss the fact that they are second to last in the league in points allowed? I mean, you go back and look at they gave up 40. This is recently, okay, in the last month. Their last game against Pittsburgh, they gave up 44. They gave up 34 to the Chargers in a loss. And these are all losses. Baltimore, they gave up 35.
Right.
Okay. They beat Vegas 41-24. And prior to that, against Philadelphia, they gave up 37-17 loss. A few weeks before that, overtime loss to Baltimore 41-38. And they gave up 38 to Washington in the third week of the season.
Look at those teams, Bill.
Yeah,
those are good teams.
Yes, they are.
Those are good offensive teams. Yep. Are we a good offensive team?
Getting better.
But that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Got a backup quarterback.
Sir, I am talking, sir. Come on. Is our defense as good as those teams that we
think about the Cowboys' points that they've scored here?
I'm listening.
Okay. The Giants game.
Okay.
How many points did the offense score?
20.
Because Overshown had a pick six.
That's right.
Okay, and think about the Washington game. Was it 30 point? What was the score there?
34-26.
Yep, 34-26. You had a Turpin
kickoff return for a touchdown.
They also missed 2 field goals? Washington?
No,
I'm just talking about the
But I'm saying those should have been points as well. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
So even though the Cowboys have scored 34 plus 27 in their 2 straight wins, averaging 30 points a game, it hasn't been all offense.
Been different. And you know what? That's unfair to the Cowboys.
That's okay.
They if we were to break down Cincinnati,
they might have some as well.
Issues like
That's
that.
right.
So Yeah, it's a tough one now. I understand what you're saying, Bill.
But that's why the spread is what it is
Yeah.
because they don't think the Cowboys, with the injury issues on offense and with the backup quarterback can match what Burrow
young
can
offensive
do.
line.
And they are fourth in touchdowns, by the way, with 41. I looked that up today.
So we need to hold them to field goals. That's what we need
You
to
better hold them to something.
and hold on to something.
And hold on to Burrow.
And by the way, their kicker is on injured reserve, and so they have signed Cade York, who's a local product, either McKinney or Prosper, somewhere around here, who's be doing the kicking duties. Evan McPherson was placed on IR this week.
Is the state of Texas just taking over all of professional sports? What the hell is going on? Every time you read somebody out, they're from the area. We're not even talking from the state. We're talking about from the area alone. Frisco, Oak Cliff, DeSoto, McKinney. Dang, man.
DNA.
It's football country.
That's right, baby.
It was back in your day too.
There's no doubt.
I mean, think about your team.
No doubt.
So why does that?
You know the most famous player I played against, besides Ricky
Me
Pierce.
and Joe Green.
Shut up. In high school, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Billy Don Jackson.
Oh yeah, Sherman.
Sherman. That's right. That was that
You
team.
like my knowledge there?
Ooh, oh, I knew you know. No. I mean, who doesn't know about Billy Don Jackson?
You didn't
doesn't,
play
I
against
guarantee
Billy
you.
Sims?
No, in high school I'm talking.
Yeah.
Pros, yes, but I'm talking high school.
No, I meant high school.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not that old.
Okay, and when we come back on Mix Shots, we will let you know who Billy Don Jackson is.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Holiday Stadium Tours. Celebrate the holiday season at AT&T Stadium. Get a tour of the home of the Dallas Cowboys plus your photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus from December 10th through the 14th. Limited inventory is available. Secure your tickets today at attstadium.com/tours.
Okay, you want to know a little something about Billy Don Jackson?
I think people are waiting on the edge of their seat.
He was out of Sherman and went to UCLA, and he wound up. He actually played in the USFL in 1983 or 84 for the Boston Breakers. But your memory.
How do you get from there to what? Go ahead.
Well, I jumped way ahead.
Yes,
there.
you did.
Let's see. This is a story from 1981. when he was 22 years old.
Okay.
That's when he was charged with a crime.
He was charged with a crime before he was 22 years old.
Yeah, he standout defensive lineman for UCLA from 1977 to 1980.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to get into the details.
Well, let's
of Billy
not get
Don
into
Jackson,
it, but I'll say this: that was a grown-ass man.
When you think of that you said he is the best player
that I've ever played against in high school.
In high school.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
He was ahead of his time.
What position?
Defensive
the
lineman?
entire defensive line. That's how he was. We had a guy, Scott Kruger. He was your size, and he played guard. And I don't know why he played guard, but he was about your height, your size.
Because he was slow like me.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was bad. And so Billy Don would just. I remember the play. He picked him up. He almost picked him up like a kid. That's how short he was, and that's how big Billy Don was. He almost picked him up like a kid. He set him aside, and he proceeded to just tear up our entire offense. I recall we were so afraid of Sherman that our coach parked, I'd say, about a half a mile from the stadium, and he said, "Guys, we're going to go live in warm-ups so that we can be warmed up for the game because they start off real fast." So he said, we're going to go live doing warm-up. I'm playing wide receiver. My defensive back buddy, he cuts me down in warm-up as I run an out route. I mean, he came low and did all of that. So we were so ready for him for the first kickoff because we're supposed to start off fast. They started off with a 99-yard touchdown kickoff return, and I stopped him at the 1-yard line, thank God. But that was silly because, of course, the next play, he just jumped over everybody like reindeer, and the onslaught began.
All right, let's talk about Cincinnati Bengals.
Better hope that onslaught doesn't begin early, right? So I gave you that stat.
Tell me about their running backs, guys. What's going on with their running game? Is it good? Is it existent?
Chase Brown
out of Illinois. Now they had a tandem. Zach Moss is on injured reserve, out for the year, and but Chase Brown, he was a 5th-round draft pick last year. I like him as a complimentary back.
How's he playing?
He has 677 yards rushing, averaging 4.5 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. We could use him on this team. Is that what you're saying?
Not bad at all.
Well, how about this?
I thought maybe we were going to have some weakness here.
It's kind of Dowdle-like.
Zach Moss.
12 carries, 70 yards against Pittsburgh his last game. What did Dowdle have against Pittsburgh? 19 carries for 87 yards or something like that.
So Zach Moss is on IR? Is that what you said?
Yes.
So they've got 2 guys that have carried the ball more than one time. Chase Brown and Joe Burrow. Everybody else has 1 carry.
Wow.
So that is not running back by committee.
And you have to be careful with Joe. He's got legs.
Oh, yeah.
He's got legs.
He's run for 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. He is not afraid to tuck it and go for the chains.
Now, they've given up 16 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Can we get on track here?
Well, the Cowboys got 4.
Okay.
Did I go through my Rico Dowdle stuff yesterday? How many, if you get him 19 carries in a game, what's the Cowboys record?
You never mentioned that.
I don't believe so.
If you give Rico Dowdle at least 19 carries in a game this season, what's the Cowboys' record?
Undefeated.
Unbeaten, 3-0.
How many times has he done it?
3 times, 3-0.
So carries, not just
Those
touches.
are carries. Those are carries.
Gotcha.
Well, I know what 19... the first script is then. Just run it 19
That's right,
times.
That's right.
That's
it's just the same old thing you did with Emmett.
Well, let's just look at this, guys. If you're going to play a team like, let's say you playing the Cowboys last year, which is what Cincinnati looks like this year, in regards to production from the quarterback position or offense, period. You just try and run the ball and keep them off the field, right? You try and limit the amount of minutes.
Sort of what Nate's key to victory was, or what was it? Pick to click. It was time of possession.
Time of possession.
And you know what? That's what it turned out to be.
That's right.
Okay, so Rico, his last 2 games against the Giants on Thanksgiving, he had 22 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. Against Washington, he had 19 carries for 86 yards. And then that Pittsburgh game, he had 20 carries for 87 yards. So that is a total in those 3 games, 61 carries for 285 yards. That's 4.7 yards a carry.
Is that enough for us to say we don't need another starting running back?
You mean for next year?
For any time, yeah.
No.
No, I think you're still going to try to get one.
Okay.
Now, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
And
Zeke's a free agent.
And Rico will be 27 years old next year.
Dalvin Cook's a free agent.
Emmitt Smith back in the day.
I haven't even seen Dalvin Cook. I forgot he was on the damn team.
Haven't seen him since the Atlanta game, basically, right?
He was going to save the day.
Emmitt Smith. When you gave Emmitt 20 carries in a
Come on,
game,
man. Get out of here,
what was the
bro.
record? You don't know the record.
It was undefeated.
Oh, it's probably
I did all this research, and
40
you're going
and
to just
what?
dismiss it?
But you're going to tell me that's going to surprise us, what you tell us about
No, I
Emmett?
didn't say it's gonna-
Rico was a surprise.
You're supposed to be surprised that someone would do the due diligence to do the research on this.
For
30
you to-
years later.
40-1.
Right. Thank you. 41.
97 wins and 25 losses in his career when Emmitt got 20 carries in a game. That's an 80% winning percentage when Emmitt got 20
I
carries in a
thought
game.
it would be higher.
97 and
that's how-
25.
how
Well,
many-
you got to
that's-
factor in some of those. I need to pare it down to when they were winning Super Bowls.
Yes.
And,
Or when they weren't falling behind by 20 points. Because then he ain't getting all them carries.
That's right. Well, you didn't do that much with that team. You didn't fall behind by
Right.
20 points
Exactly.
with that team.
so how much of it with Rico then is he got the 20 carries because they got ahead?
I would imagine every time.
The Pittsburgh game, it was a nip and tuck game.
Right.
But what did happen when you go back and look at the losing streak is in the third quarter of those games, the Cowboys it was disastrous. San Francisco game, you had the interception on the first possession of the second half, and it became a.
Didn't you have some like penalty on the kickoff as well?
That's right.
It just
Exactly.
got all crazy.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
We did everything
and,
wrong.
Atlanta game, you had the fake punt, okay, which gave them a short field, and
Which is comical.
But basically, what happened was you abandoned the run in both of those back-to-back games. You abandoned the run,
Well, because of the mistakes.
because, and those were tight games.
Right.
As
Until-
opposed to the Detroit game, you abandoned the run because you were behind by so much. Philadelphia game was a tight game at the half.
It was 14-6. And
Philadelphia.
then it
Philadelphia?
was Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then it was 28-6. So you abandoned the run.
And we still have this problem in the second half of kind of getting out of kilter offensively. It seems to me that's why the Giants were able to stay in the game, because of the mistakes that we kept making in the third quarter and in the second half. So that's something
49ers scored 21 points in the third quarter
and based on us shooting ourselves in the foot every time.
of a 10-6 game. You want me to continue?
What the Cowboys did in that Philadelphia game, on their first possession, they had a 3-and-out. Okay, it's a 14-6 game, as you said, and then the Cowboys, on their first possession of the third quarter, gave it to Rico on the first play for 1 yard, threw it to Rico for 1 yard, and then threw it to Jalen Tolbert for 1 yard, punt. And it was a Cooper DeJean 32-yard punt return that put him in position at the 37, and away we go. 37 yards at 8 plays. It's 21-6. Then the next possession, complete to Rico for 2, complete to Ferguson for 3, incomplete, underthrow CD, punt, and then Philadelphia scores again, and there she goes.
So your point is they better run the ball and score a bunch of points.
And second half, stay away from mistakes in the second half.
So I give you my team records for teams scoring 33 or more points. Did I do that yesterday?
Do you have it at the ready? Or
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you have it at the ready, we'll do it now.
So, not counting Cincinnati, teams scoring 33 points or more, the other 31 teams, are 53-1.
Wow.
Cincinnati scoring 33 or more, they're 2-4. Think about that. And the Cowboys have contributed to the 53. They're 2-0.
And they're only the second team in NFL history to lose 4 games in a season in which they've scored more than 30 points in those games. Kansas
amazing.
City did it in
Got
2002.
to keep the offense off the field. That's just the game plan. You got to keep the offense off the
Or
field.
you can make them a record setter all to themselves, a 5th time that they lose scoring 30 or more points.
I would imagine with our attempt to keep them off the field, it still will be the same thing. But that gives us the best chance. It gives us the best chance. We have to minimize the amount of time that they are on the field and minimize the big plays.
Right.
Got to minimize the big plays.
You better minimize Joe Burrow.
And that's where the big plays come from.
You know what? I get the feeling listening to Mickey all week talking about this vaunted Cincinnati offense that when it is time for us to make our picks, Mickey is going to pick the Bengals to win this game.
No, he's never going to do that.
Well, you know what?
I have a feeling.
Sacrilegious.
I have a feeling.
Usually when I do
Mickey-
that, it's wrong.
I have a feeling Mickey is going to pick the Bengals to win this game. Let's find out when we come back next on Mick Shots.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
The 2025 NFL Pro Bowl games are taking over Orlando, and the roster is up to you. Cast your ballots for the 2025 Pro Bowl games. Vote and send your favorite Dallas Cowboys players to compete in the ultimate AFC versus NFC showdown this February. Vote now at probowl.com/vote.
Mickey, did you go out to the practice field during the media availability just moments ago to see who's out there?
I did not, and I certainly need to know that to make a legitimate pick because CeeDee Lamb did not practice
He's out there today.
He is.
Got breaking news.
Thank
What about
breaking news?
What about Brandon Cooks?
Well, I'm going to have to do some searching to see about Brandon Cooks.
Somebody didn't give you just a summary of it.
I haven't found that yet.
Trayvon Diggs
Trayvon Diggs is he is out there stretching.
stretching.
As I speak right now, that's the last I've seen. He was stretching. Let me check someone else here and see if they got a better report here.
CD is not missing this game. He is not missing this
It's
game.
Monday Night Football.
That's right.
You know that the Cowboys have been on Monday Night
You want me to go
Football
out there and-
every year except for 3 years since Monday Night Football started in 1970.
We got 6 minutes.
So
Go out there and check it out.
What did we say? 89.
You're trying to pick the years that the Cowboys have not been on Monday Night Football. You got 1989.
1989. That was my pick.
Then you got
yours?
that one right.
Yeah, we got that one right. What's the other one?
Got two more?
Two more.
don't
You
know
want to
Bill?
guess, or you want me to just tell you?
You just tell us.
No. I want Bill. Bill
I
knows
have no
every
idea.
damn thing.
I have no idea.
Okay, never mind.
I don't want to play that game.
Okay, well,
1990, they did not.
Oh, that was easy because it came the year after 1989.
Exactly. And 02.
2002, and that
2002.
came in the midst of 5-11, 5-11,
Yep.
5-11.
There you go. Those are only 3 years.
because of those losing seasons.
Yes.
And I think Mickey, before we
think
came
there's a
back,
correlation.
said the strike year. Well, I went and looked 1987, right? A strike year.
Yeah.
They actually played 3 times on Monday night during the strike year.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's because the Cowboys actually had some players, regular players,
probably
playing,
right.
crossing the picket line.
We had a lot. Hey, I'm the union rep. That's my fault. Jeez, talk about leadership.
they played the Rams, the
What weeks
Washington.
were they? You know the weeks?
well, I have the dates. So I just
What
have
were the dates?
10-19-87, they lost to the Washington
Yeah, that was after the strike, wasn't it?
team.
1987's, yeah, October 19th would have been after the
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There was a 3-game stretch there.
3-game
then
stretch
early
after week
in
2.
September to early
Okay, so then it was all after. So then
Yeah.
11, November 2nd, and then 12/21/87.
Okay, nice contribution there, Producer Supreme. We
welcome,
appreciate
sir.
it.
They were
Mickey has
too
been
far
out to the
back.
practice field, and
They
now
were
he's
too
back.
far down the other end. I couldn't really see.
Did
doesn't
you
have his
did you
binoculars.
okay, back in 1992 when you went to USC to the Bills practice, did you come back with a poll report that said they were too far away, I couldn't really see?
No, I saw. I was on the sideline.
Okay, well,
I'm not on the sideline here. I'm 100 yards away, and people are standing on the sideline.
Right.
What a goofy. There are big men on the
is fed
football
up.
field.
Spags is sped up with this week. This week, Spags has been ready. He's just that close to his top popping off.
I might be more than 100 yards away.
I believe you might be.
They're down on the 20-yard line.
okay.
But somebody said he wasn't out there, but he was limited,
This
I
is
thought, yesterday.
This is who? Which player are we talking
Diggs.
about? Diggs.
I think Diggs is going to come out and have a good game.
Trayvon Diggs is stretching out at Cowboys practice
All right.
today.
He was limited yesterday
Okay.
Here is a picture of him
by himself.
by himself down by the pylon stretching.
That looks encouraging.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So chances are they're going to have to elevate Oruwariye then, who started
He's ready to go.
Yeah. So you know what? They only get 8 elevations
Okay.
off the IR.
Okay.
If he's elevated, that's 6, and they're
That means-
saving one for DeMarcus Lawrence, which is 7, who's still out there rehabbing.
So you get 3 for an individual player, but there's also
no elevations off of injured reserve.
Oh, off injured reserve. Okay.
You only get 8.
Right. Okay.
So you're saying what then?
They would have 1 left if Lawrence and Oruwariye is elevated off of injured reserve.
And would that include Diggs playing or not playing?
No, he's not on IR.
Yeah, he's talking about guys that are
talking
on
guys
IR.
on
and
IR.
Oruwariye is on IR
Okay,
right
okay.
now, and it's not like there's an unlimited number of activations that you can make
That's
throughout the
great.
season from injured reserve.
Guess which one I forgot too? Jordan Phillips.
What about him?
They put him on injured reserve. Remember with the wrist?
Yes.
And then they elevated him.
That's right, they
off
activated
of it,
him.
Activated him, and then they got rid of him.
They sure did.
But that activation
They
counted.
did. Interesting.
Yeah. So.
You
John,
know why they activated him?
so they can get rid of him.
In hope, well, and also in hopes that
Somebody would take him.
right.
Did they cut him or did he get traded?
He wound up getting cut after the trade deadline.
After the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They
no one bit.
They hung on to him.
Yeah, no one bit. And
God, we screwed that pooch.
So it's important that Diggs is capable of playing in this game, considering who they're playing.
And considering I have him as my pick to click.
let's get to it. Pick to click.
That's it.
Diggs.
Diggs, yes. That's my pick to click.
Okay.
He is going to have a nice competition against Chase. Not just Chase. They got a couple of other really good wide receivers. I don't think he doesn't follow people around, does he? They don't have him follow.
Especially not
receivers.
coming off of
Probably
injury.
not off of his injury.
Right. I look for them to attack him with multiple receivers in that case. And I look for him to survive, not just survive. He's going to get, his fourth pick? Or is it his third pick? Diggs.
Probably third.
Third pick this year.
They don't have a bunch.
I'm hoping he gets two because I think he's going to give up a touchdown. But that's going to be okay because he's going to come back and redeem himself. I think the score is going to be, since
He has two.
We're all in the 30s now. We know the 30s is the way to go. 30-33, Cowboys going to win again. 30-33, Diggs is going to get at least one interception.
Okay.
30 to okay.
Is that okay?
So the Bengals will become the first team in NFL history to have 5 losses where they've scored 30 or more points.
Why not?
Everson called it right here, 33-30.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go with my 33 at least, so the Cowboys win 34-33.
So he picked the Cowboys. You thought he was going to pick the Bengals.
34-33.
The Cowboys.
They're going to score points in this game.
When was the last time Joe Burrow played at AT&T Stadium? And who's your pick to click?
I guess it's going to be somebody on offense, right?
If they're getting 34 points, unless they've been known to have pick sixes.
Give me the very proud C.D. Lamb.
Okay.
He doesn't want Chase to outdo him.
I like
there
that.
There you go. I like that. He's getting his numbers.
Last time they played here?
Last time they played here.
Wasn't it 2017?
2022. Second
Diggs
game of the season.
Diggs is a
Dak
good pick.
had gone out with injury the end of the Tampa Bay game, and it was Cooper Rush's first start in place of Dak Prescott. Second game of the season. Joe Burrow and the Bengals come in here. And who won that game? The Dallas Cowboys, 20-17. Walk-off 50-yard field goal, Brett Maher.
Well, let's put it this way. If they hold Cincinnati to 17 points, they'll win.
Okay.
That ain't happening.
And that ain't happening.
That ain't happening.
All right. You want to change my pick then?
No, go ahead. Take 20-17.
Okay. The Bengals are so good at scoring 30 points. Well, how about the Cowboys score 30 points and beat the Bengals 30-27 on a walk-off? What's the NFL record?
64.
66. Justin Tucker. And because
he would have tied
Aubrey tied it in the preseason.
Well, he
6 days after his baby was born.
That's going to happen with my score. He's going to do the walk-off with my score.
didn't he get 66 and they took it off the board?
And then they took it off the board in the regular season game, too.
That's going to happen with my score.
So it's a 66-yard field goal by Brandon Aubrey to win 30-27, and the Cowboys will have, just like in 2022, 6 sacks of Joe Burrow.
It better be enough.
Micah Parsons will have 2 of them, just like he did in 2022.
That's a good call.
And they'll be 6 and 7.
Okay.
In the hunt.
So my pick to click is...
Which one, Aubrey or Michael Parsons?
Jake Ferguson.
What?
Jake Ferguson comes off...
Injured reserve.
Not off injured reserve, but off of a concussion protocol to finally score a touchdown in this game.
So
they still have the red kettles out there, right?
Yeah.
So he can
dunk it.
Well, no,
Dunk himself.
His was the
The bell?
Oh, no, the whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
That was funny.
He's got some new tight end teammates.
That was
do
funny.
the whack-a-mole.
That was probably the most creative
So
in that year.
last night, they did the same thing. I can't remember, one of you guys pointed out. During the broadcast, they put the NFC playoff picture, and they had all the teams in the hunt, including San Francisco at 5-7. Cowboys weren't up there.
Wow. That's just outrageous.
Can you imagine?
That should be motivation.
But you know what? I guess they put them up there because the division they're in, the leaders are 7-5, and the other next two
so they
teams
did it
are
because they're
6-6.
They're in contention for the division, not for the wild card.
Well, it didn't say that. It said playoffs. That's all I saw.
Well, they are full of crap.
And you heard it here on Mick Shots.
All right, and as we leave you, big football weekend. Who's this is a little bonus coverage here.
Alrighty.
Who's winning
High school?
No, who's winning the Big 12 championship game? Iowa State or Arizona State?
Is that tonight?
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Who's winning that game? Iowa State, Arizona State.
Sun Devils.
Arizona State looks good.
Okay, so you got Arizona State to qualify for the 12-team playoff. At 3 o'clock, you got the SEC championship game. You got Georgia against Texas. Who wins?
Texas got them.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Texas is going to come back.
Okay, so Texas gets a first-round bye. At 7 o'clock on CBS, it's the Big Ten championship, Penn State and Oregon.
Penn State is going to beat them.
Oh, Oregon gets knocked off, which means Texas will move up to the number 1 seed in the tournament.
God.
Right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then the big one, the ACC championship game in Charlotte, the SMU Mustangs against the Clemson Tigers. Who wins that one?
SMU is going to kill them.
Dallas.
All those boys from Dallas. That's right, baby.
That's right.
That's right.
And SMU then
Southside.
gets the first round bye. And here's what I'm rooting for, because there's going to be a national semifinal at the Cotton Bowl when the playoff tournament gets released. I want to see SMU and Texas with a chance to play each other at the Cotton Bowl in the national semifinals.
Would that be the sweetest thing ever?
That would be. So there you go.
Jerry would be jealous.
And the regional women's volleyball final today
Is Missouri has something to do with this?
against SMU.
See, I knew.
How about that?
I knew. With this random information here.
Hey, we're a volleyball school.
I ain't mad at you, brother.
Wow. And who's the
take it.
goofball?
Today, it's that man over there.
All right, that does it for a fabulous football fight song Friday. Enjoy your championship weekend, and we'll chat at you again on Tuesday after a Cowboys win over Cincinnati on Monday night.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,